We've got ones that can see. Welcome, everybody, to today's show. Most of you know the Real ID rollout happened a few days ago, and I did a detailed video on the Real ID and how this is leading towards the digital ID and how they now can actually use the Real ID as a digital form of identification over on My Nation's Conspire channel. But I have to cover this because this is basic communism training. And I want to thank a subscriber over on the website, Mark C., for sharing this with me because I would not have seen this. You only see, that's what's great about the website, is that there's different stories going on in different affiliate markets, which means wherever we're located, I'm not going to see a story about Legoland putting out real IDs for kids unless somebody shares it with me because I don't watch or see the news in Los Angeles. Now, when a story happens, I try to watch all the affiliate markets and see what they're saying about the story because it's usually the same exact script. And that's how we could all look at the Sinclair Broadcasting Group scripts and say, look, they're all repeating the same exact thing because it's, of course, all scripted. The news itself is scripted. So thanks to Mark for sharing this with me. Legoland is offering real IDs for kids. You might say, how is that possible? Kids don't need IDs. Well, it's a training method. They're training children to go and participate in a ride at Legoland, and then they're rewarded with their own version of a real ID. This is Communism 101. They're training the children. The parents are too dumb to understand. They think that it's cute. The same parents aren't going and getting the real ID, but now they're giving it to the kid. So the kids eventually, when it's time to get their license, they're not going to go, hey, I want an old school license and a passport. They're getting trained into their real ID. And of course, they'll look at mom and dad and say, why don't you have a real ID? And say, you know what? I guess you're right. Shame me more, child, because that's the world we live in where the children actually boss the parents around. And then the parents will probably go, oh, you know what? We should give in and go get a real ID. These are going to be methods that we see because the numbers are so low in regards to sheeple getting the actual real ID, which is great. In some cases, it's people pushing back, saying I'm not doing it. In other cases, it's obviously people who say they don't have the time to go and do it, but will eventually give in. And the more pushback they get from their government, the more the government says, hey, it's not just flying anymore. You can't drive without a real ID. You can't apply for a job without a real ID, that these people will have to conform and get the real ID. But let me play this clip for you real quick from Legoland offering real IDs for kids. This is how sick this communist government is.
Still having a hard time getting that real ID from the DMV?
Sadly, Legoland can't help you, but it can get your children a Lego version. Starting May 21st, the theme park's driving school attraction is letting your little ones behind the wheel. Kids can drive through a fully immersive Lego city with real Lego traffic signs, stoplights, even an immersive bubble car wash. And there is a bricktastic bonus for park goers this month. You'll receive a limited edition Lego driving school license that looks like a real ID.
I see what they're doing here because they've had this attraction for a while. We love it. The kids love it. And you do get an ID, but they're putting the stamp of real ID
that's so
on
funny.
it. It's so funny.
Well, you know,
it's fun.
If it encourages people, reminds them to go get theirs, I guess it's helpful. I don't have mine. Do you?
No, but I have my appointment.
Oh, look at you.
My appointment is scheduled. We'll see how long I wait in the line. I'm hoping it's smooth sailing.
I hope so too.
So Legoland is offering the real ID experience for kids at their driving school and junior driving school attractions. Participants who complete the driving courses can earn a license that looks like a real ID. The attraction features a full Lego-built city with real traffic signals and even an interactive bubble car wash. The program is a fun way for kids to learn about traffic rules and enjoy a hands-on driving experience. But really what this is about is rewarding them with a real ID so that they can brainwash these kids. You go, you participate, ooh, you get your own real ID. And that's how mind control really works, right? Here's your reward at the end, what the government wants you to have in the first place. So let's train you into wanting a real ID. That way, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whenever you're eligible, you'll go and get the real ID. And maybe in the meantime, if your parents didn't listen to us and go and get it, well, we'll train you to yell at your parents to tell them to go and get it. And that's how communism actually works. They empower the children. I've been warning about this for years. It's very simple. It's very easy to understand. This wokeism, the reason that Hollywood is used and targets the young teenagers with feeble minds, is that they're empowering stupid people with their lies. And these people repeat their lies. The same people who thought there was actually a virus a few years ago. The same people who are still out wearing masks. The same people you see tie themselves down in the middle of roads because they think they're protesting climate change. They target the youth because they can control their minds easier. That's the reason that they throw us in school at such a young age, to go after our minds immediately. So if you haven't seen some of the compliance rates by state, you'll notice that it's not that strong. I mean, a state like New Jersey, right? I talked about that in my previous video, which is considered a Democrat state. Now, I'm not so sure about that, knowing people from New Jersey. Just like some of these states, they tell you are fully blue states versus fully red states. And you go, well, who knows anybody from that state that's a full-on lunatic, you know, who's dyeing their hair blue and telling you that they want to lap dance your kids at school and bring in, hobos off the streets and put them in wigs and have them do all that. Nobody really knows. They just tell you what's a red state and a blue state, which is why I've warned for a while about the potential in the future of having these red and blue states and the predictive programming behind that, where they're already telling you which states are established via political affiliation. It used to kind of just be, hey, you vote for the best candidate. You didn't just vote because, well, we're in New Jersey, we have to vote Democrat because we're a blue state. Even if the guy tasers me in the balls, we got to vote for him. People would say, why would I vote for this guy? This guy's raising taxes. This guy seems like a prick. Why am I going to vote for him? I don't care what party he's part of. Well, we have dual communism now. We have the Republicans who only vote Republican, Democrats who only vote Democrat, and the entire election thing is nothing more than a sham. And every time they switch parties that they put in power, they just strip us of more and more of our rights. But this entire story with Legoland, to me, these are really sick methods that they use because they couldn't care less about children. All they care about is grabbing their minds and corrupting them and manipulating them into what they want. And this is communism. Let me play for you a couple of these clips that I've used in the past from communist documentaries that show you how they target the minds of the youth, they empower the youth, and they mold them and manipulate them. And that's what you're seeing right there with Legoland. These kids are being molded and manipulated by the government into thinking, well, it's a reward to get my real ID. And they will want a real ID when they're older, but at the same time, they're also going to undermine their parents if they don't have a real ID either. Take a look at some of these clips that show you what communism is all about.
Stalin is very much aware of one of communism's primary objectives, to capture the minds and hearts of the young. Now he gives great attention to the Komsomol, the Young Communist League, whose aim is to link every step in the training and education of youth to the class struggle, the victory over the non-communist people of the earth. Now the world begins to learn the truth about communism. Family ties are discouraged. The state is supreme.
But there are other communists who don't show their real faces, who work more silently.
By the early 1950s, Communist Party membership had declined considerably, but Cold War propaganda inflated its threat to fantastic proportions. An evil so pervasive that the whole society had to be mobilized to combat it.
May Day brings a wave of anti-communist sentiment as 100,000 march down New York's Fifth Avenue in a loyalty parade. Everyone from vets to youngsters reveals his inborn dislike of communism. A united answer to those menacing our country's liberty.
Sergeant, check the kitchen. You look in the back. I'll be upstairs. Hey!
What is this? Where do you think you're going?
We have no time for explanations. Already we have 15 minutes behind schedule.
I don't care who sent your why. You're not going to take another step until I see your warrant.
Warrant? We need no warrant. As a member of the Young Communist League, your daughter has volunteered for farm work. She's to be transported immediately. The truck is waiting outside.
You say my daughter volunteered?
That is correct. Here's the signature. Requesting transport to the People's Collective.
Signature on that piece of paper is false. And everything you've said is a lie because my daughter would never leave here of her own free will.
Sergeant!
You've got no right to be in this house.
I'm going to give you just 10 seconds to get out of here.
Daddy? It's true, Daddy. I did volunteer for farm work.
Brenda, why?
The party convinced me that I should free myself of the lingering bourgeois influence of family life. I am ready. Do not interfere. It is for my own good.
And Comrade Donovan, do not think that your deviationist remarks shall be overlooked. They will be reported to the proper authorities.
Frightening, isn't it?
So that's the goal here. Legoland didn't say, hey, wouldn't it be really neat if during our bumper car thing that we have with the inside of a city, which of course, when I read that, I meant to say, when I read you the breakdown on what this Legoland thing is, they said it was a Lego built city. I'm surprised they didn't just call it a Lego smart city, but we know in the future they'll probably be marketing a lot of these smart cities with corporations like Disney and Amazon. And that's one of the features they'll use to get people and lure them in. Oh, it's a Star Wars smart city. Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse one. It's a Legoland smart city. And it's as insane as that sounds, it'll work on these people because they live in Fantasyland. Oh, it's what? I've already talked about some of these smart communities that they have out there. They're doing the exact same thing. Disney Smart City, come live here. They already have one. They're not telling you it's a smart city. They're going, it's a Disney town, right? Like a company town. And people are moving in. So they get, oh, everybody here's obsessed with Disney. Everybody's going to have like a themed house. Like one guy's got Minnie Mouse. One guy's got Pluto house. Ooh, that sounds neat. And these are adults, of course. And again, adults behaving like children. That's part of why we're in the mess that we're actually in. So the Lego, this is just, it's sick, right? Because nobody at Legoland came out and said, hey, you know, why don't we do this whole theme? Well, why don't you just give them a license? Why does it have to be a real ID? Oh, because Big Brother is obviously responsible for it. And of course, again, these corporations are the government. They all work hand in hand with one another. This is just the beginning. We're going to see this type of thing probably at Disney, probably at some of the Six Flags locations or what other amusement parks they have. Hershey Park, the Hershey Highway Park. You could see this as a theme. You could even see this as a theme at school, or they'll start implementing this at school to brainwash the children into wanting a real ID. And remember, the real ID and the digital ID, these things, when they become a must-have, these kids aren't going to be able to go online and stuff without the digital ID. You're not going to be able to post on the internet. You're not going to be able to access the internet in the future unless you have the credentials that they tell you have to have. And that's, of course, for your safety, they'll tell you, but it's really to track and monitor you. They'll tell you, well, this is great because now you'll be held accountable. If you write something on an internet forum about a bomb or something going off, oh, well, now they'll come right to your front door because they'll know posted. You can't be anonymous on the internet anymore. Oh, you can't hurt so-and-so's feelings anymore, and everybody will just buy into it. That's great. Now we could stop these crimes that aren't even happening in the first place that the government's creating themselves at these schools. Oh, and then nobody will get their feelings hurt anymore. You know, if you call someone a name on the internet, God forbid that somebody calls somebody a name back or confront them about it, right? We'll just teach them to be cowards and run to Big Brother because that's the way that this whole 1984 world is supposed to unfold. So this is just a basic communist tactic. That's what this is. That's as soon as I saw it, I said, I can't even believe that they're doing this out in the open. And people in the comment section don't get it because most of these people don't get it on the left or the right. The right claim to see all this stuff with Marxists and communism, but they don't even realize they're the same way. They're the ones who are like, we'll buy Teslas because Elon Musk is under attack and his stock is down and he's worth 75 trillion gazillion dollars, but we'll go buy Teslas for him. Well, that's communism thinking. What do you care about these people? They don't care about you. You're loyal to your party. That's what communism is. And most of these sheeple out there who see this real ID propaganda, they're like, that's so cute that the kids are getting a real ID. They're being trained. This is grooming, government grooming through Legoland of all places. I thank everybody for being here. Thanks again to Mark who shared this over on the website and everybody who's on the website who's sharing great information like this. These are important things that people need to see because this entire, the news network is nothing more than a massive manipulation tool. That's all that it is. People see this stuff like, oh, isn't that neat? A real ID. And they don't even go, well, what's Is there an agenda there? Well, clearly there's an agenda there. And they're going after your kids because they're going to turn your kids on you. That's the whole point. That's how communism works. The party above the family. And haven't you noticed around us how people are giving up their friendships if they vote differently now? That happened during COVID, right? Oh, you're not going to get a shot. I can't be your friend anymore, right? All that stuff that Jennifer Aniston put out, where Jennifer Aniston's like, I don't have to talk to my friends who didn't get vaccinated, right? This is what they're training everybody to do. And we already see it. Oh, I have friends who are Democrat. I can't be around them anymore. I just cut them off, got rid of them. You've been friends for 30, 40 years. How come it didn't matter 20 years ago that they were Democrats? Oh, because everyone's insane now. Because everybody's a communist and they're loyal to their party, right? And they're being groomed and trained to do exactly as Big Brother says. I thank everybody for being here again. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.